Hello everyone, KitbashCarnage here, and welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at the Mish Mash character I sculpted up. So if you don't know, Mish Mash is a fellow YouTuber that does a lot of like Warhammer lore. He's doing some core stuff right now. So just a bit of everything. Great painter and a fellow kitbasher. So go over and take a look at his channel. Link to part 1 of this video will be in the description if I remember to do it. So enough rambling and let's get to it. So you see the paints that I showing you there. That's what we're going to be using. Apologies for not saying the names, but I'm terrible with pronunciation, and I thought I'd rather show you them so you know what it is rather than me trying to explain and say what it is. So we're going to start off with doing the skin or the fur, shall I say. So Mish Mash's character has some fur on the skin, or fur on the skin, has some fur, and the fur is a shade of kind of a blackish, greyish kind of colour. And then his hoodie that he tends to wear is a purple. He has these little wings that come out that like are a bonyish colour. And then a tail that you see sometimes that from what I could tell was like a grey. I never get to see what colour his pants are really. I think there's one picture of his character's pants out there. I know that sounds so weird, but yeah, we just kind of went with what we thought might look realistic or might be what it is. So yeah, this is our take. As you can see here, we're trying our best. Realistically, I'm trying my best, but I'm not the best at painting. I don't have any patience for this, and also I have a bad eye, so yeah, my depth perception is completely off half the time. So me trying to be careful ends up ending terribly, and I majority of the time end up painting parts that I don't want to paint. But yeah, that's what the learning experience is all about, isn't it? I do have an airbrush, but for this type of stuff, I thought just using paintbrushes would be much more easier to control. So what I'm trying to do here is basically just do one color at a time. So I'm painting the fur, then I'm going to move on to the hoodie, and then the bottoms, and so on and so forth. Hopefully allowing each part to dry separately, making sure that I don't spread the paint to different areas as easy as it would basically if I started just painting in and out with different colours. You'd have wet patches all over the place. If anyone's wondering why I paint the back of my hand, this is basically just to take excess paint off my brush, or mix it with some water to thin it out. So yes, I have a wet palette there, but the wet palette I try to use for more of the mass of the paint, if that makes sense. So put the majority of your paint you're going to be working off of on your wet palette, and that just keeps it fresh and ready to go. And then I always take a bit of paint and put it on the top of my thumb there, as you see, or my palm or my hand, and then I work off that droplet of paint, adding bits of water to it to wet it down or thin it out. And this is how I've always worked. I've always painted like this. It tends to be a little bit messy, but it's the way I've always painted. And when I start to get the painting skill back, you will tend to see that the droplets of paint tend to be a bit smaller, more defined on my hand, and not these big splodges. As I said recently, or not recently, but as I have said in the past, I used to do this hobby back about 17 years ago. So I used to paint an awful lot and build more, kitbash more, but then I stopped doing it all. So I'm just back into it all, trying to relearn skills, lost skills that I used to know. I still know they're deep down inside there. So, but like I said, along with my unfortunate accident that I had with my eye and stuff. Trying to paint and stuff can be somewhat of an issue. I do try to use these magnifying glasses things, but then I end up banging it off the camera when I'm filming, so I can't wear that when I film. So yeah, we're working with it, folks. We'll get there in the end. It's all about practice, and the more I paint, the more I will find my new kind of skill, my new niche, whether it be speed painting, airbrushing, or anything like that. But yeah, just practice makes perfect, so never let anything get you down. Just keep at it. And for someone who hates painting, I'm going to try and make it a goal of mine to try and upload a painting video at least once a month, hopefully once a week, if not in live stream form. So like be painting on live streams if it's not put up on videos. But yeah, I'm going to try paint a bit more, because the only way to define your skills is to practice. So as you see, we're moving on to the pants here, or the trousers, and then we're going to just try hold the top and the bottom of the miniature or the sculpture in order to not carry all the paint along and splodge it in different areas. But yeah, to our best of our ability, we're just going to try keep out of the wet paint. And this is what I was talking about with doing the fur and then doing another section and another section. So continuously sticking with one color before you move on to the next color, instead of moving back and forth from different colors. Makes it so one color will nearly fully dry before you've moved on to the second color after that, and so on. And this is where we figure out that we have no silver. Yeah, so I actually ended up getting a whole box of new acrylic paints, along with the full range of, well, I didn't get, I got my partner the full range of the Squidmar box set paints. So I'll be using them in videos in the future. Stay tuned for a side kind of review on them paints. Not like I know much about painting, but you know, however, we'll know if they're good or bad. So we're going to use this acrylic kind of grey, and that's going to be used for the tail, or you know, wrecking ball, whatever it is. But we're going to use that for this bit here, and hopefully it turns out well in the end. So just making sure you get a generous coat of this paint on. I'm not quite used to using this new paint range, so I think I used a little bit too heavily here. I probably should have done one thin coat and then went over it with another thin coat, just to kind of, you know, ease out the material. As I said, I've never used that paint before, so but look forward to using it in the future, and we'll see how the painting progresses. So on Mish Mash's character, he has like these bony wings that are coming out of the back of him. So you see in part 2 of this series of making the Mish Mash character, we actually made these wings out of a Warhammer Chaos Possessed Space Marine. Simply by using some Omaru and moulding this bit, we could get a cast off it, and then we just mirrored it on both sides. As you can see, the little Chaos shoulder pads there, if you look closely, which I think kind of complements the whole look. It gives it like an exit way for these bony wings to come out from. And then just going over them wings in some skeleton horde, just to give it that kind of bone look. And then continuing on to the aisles. We're going down the aisles. Continuing on the eyes, and then going forward from that. So we purposely, I can't say that word. We left these ears here on purpose. There we go. We do a hack, we skip the words. We left these ears here on purpose in order to coat them in the end, in case we got bits on them, like bits of purple and bone wraith and all that stuff. But not only that, but they are 2 good points that we could hold in order to rotate the sculpture itself, to get good angles to get in different nooks and crannies. But now that the lower portion of the sculpt has dried, we can now paint those ears, kind of blending in the whole look of the ears coming out of the hood of the jacket or the hoodie he's wearing. And just making sure you try not to get any black on the purple there, because obviously the black is much more of a darker shade, and getting it off the purple will be much more harder than getting the purple off the black. And then just going back in with a little bit of black into them recesses of the pockets and creases of the pants. So before we finish up and give this a quick dry brush, we're going to get a fine tipped brush and go in there with some white and finish up the teeth or the little fangs and then the eyes, just to make this all come to life and pop that a little bit more. And then yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for staying tuned, sticking tuned, still can't talk, and watching me and listening to me. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys and girls. Thank you very much for coming and enjoying my bits of carnage that I do and the crazy antics we get up to. See you all in the next video, and don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Over 50% of the people who watch the videos aren't subscribed, so yeah, I'm not trying to beg here, but it really does help if you hit that subscribe button and the like. Even leaving a comment pushes small YouTubers like myself, especially. I'm not one of them YouTubers to I don't really like clickbaiting my thumbnails and stuff like that. Like, I could easily have put Mish Mash's character up, his logo up, and then blurred my guy to make it look mysterious so you're forced to click, but we don't do that here. See you in the next one, everyone, and be real, be kind, be great.